Is there a top-secret satellite silently orbiting our planet right now? A mysterious object that we aren't supposed to know about, one that has been here for 13,000 years. Could this be some kind of alien probe spying on us? Or is this just another government conspiracy? Let's take a look at what we do know about the Black Knight satellite. We have to go back to the 1920s when the first reports of an unusual object in orbit around the Earth began to surface. In 1928, a British astronomer named J. Stanley confirmed via radio telescope that something was orbiting the Earth every 16 days, coming within 40 miles of the planet. But whatever it wasn't doing anything like other satellites we know of. Fast forward to 1954 when American Duncan Lunnan witnessed something peculiar while looking through his backyard telescope. He saw a strange object that looked like a star moving across the night sky. It appeared and disappeared over the horizon in only 2 hours. Now, these kinds of objects can't just appear and disappear. They stay up there, so he reported his findings to the authorities. That same year, radio astronomers were trying to contact someone or something. They were sending radio signals out into space in an attempt to detect if anyone was out there. And they got a reply, or so they thought. The reply came from somewhere above Boston. Scientists narrowed down where the signal might be coming from, and it led them to something orbiting around the planet. What followed was a decade full of intrigue as scientists tried to determine what exactly this object was. They knew it was up there because it kept responding to their radio waves. But it wasn't until 1963 that the world got its first good look at the mysterious satellite. The satellite was photographed by a U.S. Navy captain named Bruce McCandless. It was captured in a series of photos on June 17, 1963. It's believed that the satellite had been up there since 1954. The photos show a long cylindrical object about 150 feet in diameter, very similar to how we imagine a submarine to look from the outside. However, this was way before Google Earth or any of those cool programs we have nowadays. So scientists didn't have the ability to track the satellite once it disappeared from view. All they had were the photos taken by the captain of the Navy's ship. It would take decades before we got any solid answers, and when we did, it almost defied belief. According to NASA, the Black Knight is neither a satellite nor a UFO, but rather debris left behind from a rocket launch in the 1960s. The most likely candidate is the third stage of a Titan II missile that was launched on a secret mission in 1961. The satellite was expected to self-destruct after completing its mission, but somehow it never did. However, not everyone is convinced. While NASA believes the satellite is just space junk, others say that it is much older than that. They claim it's 13,000 years old. This claim dates all the way back to 1963 when one of the scientists investigating the object made a shocking statement. According to him, the object had been up there for thousands of years, meaning it couldn't possibly be a satellite since we hadn't launched anything until the mid-1900s. This is why many people believe that it's an alien spy ship that has been sent to watch us, a silent observer that has seen our entire history unfold before its cold and blinking eyes. But where did this idea come from? Why did a scientist make such a bold claim? Well, according to the man himself, he simply did the math. If this thing was orbiting the planet and it wasn't a satellite, then it must have been there for a really long time. He figured out that if the satellite was orbiting every 16 days, then it would have been up there for at least 13,000 years. Now, hold on a second. Just because we have this one scientist claiming that the satellite is 13,000 years old doesn't mean that it actually is. After all, we have plenty of examples of people making wild claims about aliens, and the vast majority of them turn out to be false. So, who is right, NASA or the scientist who has remained anonymous for fear of ridicule? Well, given that NASA is a huge organization with tons of resources and funding, you would think that they would have solved this mystery by now, but even they seem to be stumped. At first, NASA said that the Black Knight was nothing more than space junk, probably a discarded piece of equipment from a recent rocket launch. However, when Duncan Lunin reported the object back in 1954, NASA wasn't even around yet. So it couldn't have been any of their equipment, not to mention that the object has been photographed several times since 1963 and none of those photos show any kind of rocket parts or anything like that. All they show is a cylindrical object that looks like it belongs in a science fiction movie. And don't forget about all the radio signals we mentioned earlier. There is no way that a piece of debris would be able to reflect our radio waves back to us the way that it did. So maybe it's not space junk after all. Maybe it really is an alien probe, but why are they watching us? Why would aliens send a probe 13,000 years ago to spy on human activity? Were they expecting us to invent spaceships by now? To be honest, we don't know. Some people say that the aliens could be studying our behavior, seeing how we interact with each other and our environment. Others say that they might be waiting for us to make contact so they can finally reach out and say hello, but maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe the aliens aren't friendly at all and they re-watching us just in case we get too powerful one day and decide to attack them. After all, if there are aliens out there, they probably don't know what we're like. We haven't exactly been sending out probes to visit other planets, so they might be the ones trying to learn more about us so they can better defend themselves in case things get bad. Whatever the reason, we know that the Black Knight is out there. We have photos and radio signals to prove it, so what should we do about it? Should we try to contact the aliens or just leave them alone? Well, according to a recent survey, most people say that they would want to meet an alien. But at the same time, most people also say that they are afraid of aliens. So maybe it's best that we don't make contact. Who knows what kind of diseases they might be carrying or what their intentions are. They could be hostile or just want to take our resources, we don't know. But one thing is for sure, it's not worth risking our planet for a little bit of alien technology or knowledge. As far as what's going to happen next, who knows? Maybe someday we will figure out where the Black Knight came from and what it's doing here. Or maybe it will remain a mystery forever, only time will tell. What do you think the Black Knight satellite is? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.